Reacher Season 3's genius David O'Donnell replacement isn't the character anyone expected. Reacher Season 3 has a genius replacement for Season 2's David O'Donnell, and it is not the character anyone expected. Since Season 1, Amazon's Reacher has loyally adapted most elements from the original Lee Child Jack Reacher novels. While the show's ability to capture its source material's essence is one of its biggest strengths, it also creates some narrative issues. For instance, since each Lee Child novel unfolds in a new setting and features a new set of characters, the show seems to have little room to bring back familiar faces or build lasting relationships for Jack Reacher. Since Reacher Season 3 is adapting Lee Child's Persuader, none of Season 2's characters, except Jack Reacher and Francis Neagley, are expected to return. Although Carla Dixon and David O'Donnell were great additions to the show's roster, their return seems unlikely because they are not a part of the original book's narrative. Interestingly, however, Reacher Season 2 seems to have found its new David O'Donnell. It looks like Polly will be Reacher Season 3's comic relief character. David and Reacher had a buddy cop dynamic in Reacher Season 2, where they could not help but pull each other's legs. While O'Donnell, too, contributed to the 110th Special Investigation Unit's overarching mission, it was hard not to see him as Season 2's comic relief, since he was usually the subject of ridicule for Jack Reacher throughout the season. Given how Reacher moves to a whole new setting in Season 3, it seems unlikely O'Donnell will return. However, Reacher Season 3's new character, Polly, already seems to be his perfect replacement. Reacher Season 3's trailer hints that Polly will be a villain, which seems to make him nothing like David O'Donnell. However, the trailer also features several moments where Polly and Reacher team up and have an intense rivalry, which leads to hilarious consequences for both. Every time Reacher attempts to overpower Polly with his wit and strength, and Polly finds new ways to retaliate, it is hard not to think about Reacher and O'Donnell's banter from Season 2. While making Polly and Reacher's dynamic funny could risk undermining him as a threat to the Alan Ritchson character, it seems to make him a more interesting villain. So far, Reacher has tried to take its villains a little too seriously, which has not worked too well for the show. Polly is almost like an antithesis to all previous villains. He is much bigger and stronger than Reacher, making him a worthy opponent for the show's titular character. In Seasons 1 and 2, Alan Ritchson's Jack Reacher could mindlessly fight the villains and still overpower them. However, in Season 3, he will have to use his brain more than his brawn to defeat Polly. As shown in the trailer, this is bound to lead to funny action sequences where Polly falls victim to Reacher's pranks, while Reacher is blown away by the fact that someone much stronger than him even exists. Owing to this, it is good that Reacher Season 3 is bringing something new to the table by featuring a villain who seriously challenges Reacher and is also a source of comedy. The explosive success of Reacher on Prime Video has captivated viewers with its intense action sequences, compelling mysteries, and the magnetic presence of Jack Reacher himself, played by the towering Alan Ritchson. With Reacher Season 3, fans eagerly anticipate the show's return, but one particular casting change has ignited intrigue and speculation. David O'Donnell, the brilliant sidekick and tech genius who became indispensable in the previous season, is being replaced by a new character. What makes this replacement so unexpected is that it's not a high-tech prodigy or an elite military hacker. Instead, the new role brings a surprising shift in tone and character dynamic, taking Reacher into uncharted territory. David O'Donnell's departure, a genius that shaped Season 2, David O'Donnell, introduced in Reacher Season 2, quickly became a fan favorite. His expertise in technology and tactical warfare complemented Reacher's brute strength and detective skills. The chemistry between the two men was undeniable. While Reacher operated in the physical world, breaking bones and taking names, O'Donnell was in the background, running operations with surgical precision, analyzing digital trails, and hacking into security systems when Reacher's fists couldn't do the trick. Their teamwork added depth to Reacher's loner persona, showing a man who, despite his usual preference for working alone, could thrive in partnership with the right ally. O'Donnell brought a level of intellectual prowess that Reacher rarely encountered. He was essential in navigating the high-stakes, tech-heavy situations that required more than just brute force. Fans assumed O'Donnell would return in Season 3 to continue balancing Reacher's raw power with his cerebral know-how. However, news of his replacement sent shockwaves through the fanbase. The unexpected replacement, a character from Reacher's past in a bold and surprising move, Reacher Season 3 introduces a completely different type of character to replace David O'Donnell's role. Rather than another tech genius or special ops strategist, the new character is Molly Beth Garden, an investigative journalist with a tenacious attitude and a personal connection to Reacher's past. Molly Beth Garden first appeared in Lee Child's novels as an old flame of Reacher's and a fellow investigator. Unlike the intellectual, tech-savvy O'Donnell, Molly Beth operates in a world of ethics, human connections, and intuition. Her expertise isn't in decoding encrypted files, but in digging through records, tracking down people, and finding information the old-fashioned way, by getting in people's faces, knocking on doors, and following her gut. Her role introduces a more grounded, human element to the show, moving away from the high-tech espionage that marked Season 2. A new dynamic for Reacher's interactions with Molly Beth Garden will likely provide a fresh dynamic that fans of the show haven't seen before. While Reacher is known for his strong moral compass and no-nonsense approach to solving problems, Molly Beth operates in a gray area of journalistic ethics and the pursuit of truth. She isn't afraid to manipulate or pressure her sources to get what she needs, even if it means pushing Reacher's buttons or forcing him to face uncomfortable truths about his past. What makes this shift particularly intriguing is how it impacts Reacher's typical lone wolf tendencies. Molly Beth's presence brings a personal connection that Reacher doesn't often allow himself to have. Unlike O'Donnell, whose partnership with Reacher was rooted in professionalism and mutual respect, Molly Beth's relationship with Reacher is more complicated, filled with unresolved emotions and unspoken history. This opens the door to exploring a side of Reacher's character that we rarely see: his vulnerability, his regrets, and the emotional toll his nomadic lifestyle has taken on him. Molly Beth is no damsel in distress either. She's fiercely independent and capable, with a sharp wit and determination that matches Reacher's own. Their clashes, both personal and professional, will likely become a central point of tension in Season 3. Unlike O'Donnell, who knew when to step back and let Reacher do his thing, Molly Beth may challenge him in ways that lead to explosive confrontations. A return to analog investigation, a shift from O'Donnell's tech-heavy expertise to Molly Beth's old-school investigative methods, also suggests a thematic shift for Reacher Season 3. While modern thrillers often rely heavily on technology, surveillance, and digital footprints, Molly Beth's skill set brings the show back to a more analog, boots-on-the-ground approach to solving mysteries. This change in tone could be a welcome refresh for fans who want to see Reacher using his sharp observational skills, intuition, and experience to solve cases without relying on cutting-edge technology. Molly Beth's ability to navigate the murky world of journalism, uncovering secrets that people want to keep hidden, may introduce a different kind of villain for Season 3. Rather than going up against a tech-savvy criminal organization, Reacher could find himself facing off against corrupt institutions, media conglomerates, or powerful individuals who use influence and misinformation to cover their tracks. Molly Beth's role in exposing these secrets will be key, but her methods may put her at odds with Reacher's more straightforward approach to justice.